and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another Q&A, but this one isn't about the Son of Chaos specifically or writing and world building tips specifically. This one's kind of just like a quick recap since, the seasons are changing and it's finally going to be November, December time. This is the peak of humanity for me. This is the peak of the year. I love these seasons. I'm turning 18. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be fantastic, and I'm so excited to experience this with you guys. So let's get into it. The first question is, what is your favorite line and or scene in your book? Also, I love you. I love you too. Favorite line or scene? My favorite line is probably when Mavis says, "A life taken is a life taken no matter how it's done." I really do like that line. Or I like when Mavis has the best one-liners. Clarice comes into the courtroom. She smells like acidic, like alcohol. And he says, "I hope the alcohol I smell is from healing practices and not your flask." Or I also really like the one where she talks about Hadrian's bones being breaded in fatality, but how she would curl her fingers around each one and like lick it clean. I like that a lot too. So those are a couple of my favorite lines just off the top of my head. Scene wise, my favorite scene in the book has probably got to be the kitchen scene, or when she comes into his room during the storm. I do like that scene a lot too. Next question is movie or show TV Rex, and Brie asked me this question. Brie is one of my favorite writer friends. Everybody go follow Written by Brie. I really like the new Frankenstein. It's on Netflix. You can just watch it right in the comfort of your own home. It's really good. It's done by the same guy who did Crimson Peak, and I also really love that movie. That's another really good movie. So if you haven't seen Frankenstein, you haven't seen Crimson Peak, make sure to check both of those out. Pride and Prejudice all the way. I've always loved Pride and Prejudice. Time Traveler's Wife, Fan the Opera, Titanic. Some of my favorite TV shows are Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton. I'm rewatching The Office right now. I've watched The Office 2 times, so I have to put it on the list. I really do love Jim and Pam. I like Sex and the City, Desperate Housewives. Oh, and Anne with an E. I also really love Anne with an E. Any plans for Thanksgiving or Christmas? Not really for Thanksgiving. My family doesn't really tend to do that because we have such a small family. We typically will get Chinese and do a Chinese buffet and invite some friends over. For Christmas, I'm sure it's gonna be like it has been all the other years, in which we wake up, we open presents, we go to grandma's house, do presents, we go to Missy's house, do presents. What is your coffee order? I've always gone for a dirty chai. I typically will do grande iced chai latte with a shot of espresso and cold foam. I do vanilla cold foam. Sometimes I'll do strawberry cold foam if I'm feeling fancy. I started liking London Fogs, but then at home I typically will do milk, and then I'll do the chai stuff again, Tazo chai. I'll pour some of that in, and then I'll do coffee. I'll just make a coffee cup, put cinnamon, sugar, and ice. She also asked, how do you stay consistent with writing? I answered this in a different video, but I really don't stay consistent with writing because I have work and school. So I typically just kind of write when I feel like it. Yesterday I wrote a lot. Today I'm hoping to write a little bit. And then I know in school, because we go back to school Wednesday, I'm not gonna write it all. How much Spanish do you know? I love your Spanish introductions. I really don't know a lot of Spanish. I had been really into it for a minute there. I wanna say in 8th grade. I was desperate to learn Spanish. I know a lot of Spanish songs and stuff. If you put on a Spanish song, I'll know it. Romeo Santos, I love listening to his music. I can sing the lyrics. I just don't know what he's saying usually. Cannibalism as a metaphor for love, or contemplation as love for divinity? I really do like comparing or showcasing love interests being more significant than the gods. For example, I do that a lot in my book with Hadrian. Hadrian worships Clarice. I'm gonna say cannibalism as a metaphor for love because I tend to use that more than I do the contemplation as love for divinity. This one's kind of weird. I don't really super think it leans into the cannibalistic feel, but when Mavis is holding Cassonia's corpse and he dragging the blood down his face and he's tasting it, I have a whole paragraph dedicated to how it tastes and how it makes him feel. I've always been really grotesque in my writing, and cannibalism is one of the things that are very grotesque. And I tend to like a lot of cannibalistic books like Tenders of Flesh and A Certain Hunger, which I mentioned in my per-month book recommendations video, which you can also check out. If you can live in any fictional universe, which would you choose and why? I would probably choose the Harry Potter universe. I've been obsessed with that since I was a kid. I love Harry Potter. I've read all the books. I've watched all the movies. Favorite micro tropes? I'm trying to remember what a micro trope is. I really like the like who did this to you, and I like the nightmare trope when you know, they have a nightmare and somebody's there to comfort them. I love that trope. That trope I use so many times in The Son of Chaoses. How do you write so beautifully? It's actually stunning. Thank you. I read a lot of poetry. Read Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita or anything really written by him. The way he does prose is fantastic. Least favorite trope, overused trope. I'm gonna probably say the one bed trope. I never liked the one bed trope. Everybody knows what the one bed trope is for. It doesn't really add anything to the plot. I feel like there's other ways that you can do it, and I feel like it's just unrealistic when it comes down to it. Like, oh, they booked a hotel room, but there's only one bed, and they hate each other, but they're gonna share the bed. No. Like, you're gonna sleep on the floor if I don't like you. What are you? And there's so many solutions to it. It's like you can't even force it without making it kind of seem odd. Are you going to traditionally publish? I talked about this a little bit in my other video. I'm honestly not sure yet. I just want to get the book done first. I think I'm going to submit it to some traditional publishers and see who bites, and if nobody bites, then I will self-publish. You wake up in a fantasy world with no idea how you got there. First thing you do, cry? Freak out? Try to summon some kind of magical power? Kiss the hottest guy that walks in the room? I mean, I'm in a fantasy world. What are they gonna do? Kara said, just want to say hi. Hi, Kara. How do you combine your ideas into one story? I mean, I make this story so long and have so many different scenes that I can make that fit. Like, I mean, Hadrian and Clarice before are a completely different version of Hadrian and Clarice in book 1 and book 3, so I can do things with them in part 2 that I couldn't do things with in part 1. Like, it can be more of like a childish romance, whereas in part 1 it's like more of like an enemies to lovers, dark gothic kind of vibe. What has been the easiest part of writing a book? All of it's pretty easy for me, I would say, just because I love doing it and it's so much fun for me, and even when it's hard, I love doing it. So what has been the hardest part about writing a book? Editing? I don't like editing too much, but yeah, editing's probably pretty difficult for me just because, I get so stuck on things. I get really stuck on things. It's bad. Last night I was editing a scene for like 3 hours and it was like this long. Like, it was nothing and I was so angry. It was literally her walking to the door. I'm not even lying to you. It was her walking to the door, opening the door, stepping out into the hallway, and then hearing somebody throwing up. If you're a better reader, you know exactly what scene I'm talking about. There's so many things that had just happened. So her walking to the door had to be some kind of like crazy tumultuous journey, you know? And then I finally realized, okay, wait, I don't have to make it that potent at all. And so I kind of toned it down. Who's your #1 book boyfriend? Aaron Warner. I love that guy. He's awesome. I also really had a big thing for Ron Weasley for the longest time. I don't know why, because Ron is not intelligent at all. If I had to think now, I would probably have more of a thing for Draco Malfoy, but Draco Malfoy's mean, so maybe not. What's your definition of love? A hug. A hug. A hug. And I will never have any other definition of it. It's a hug. It's the only physical act that doesn't involve lust. It's so just wholesome. Hugs are like, oh my gosh. And when you're really having a bad day, giving somebody a hug is just so good. I love hugs. I love hugs. I can make this whole video about hugs, but I can't. That's my definition of love, a hug. If I hug somebody, I love them. In that moment, I love them. I might not love them romantically. I might not love them like as a friend or as a family member, but it might be something like that. But I genuinely do think that like you are expressing love in a hug. Anybody who you would want to hug and would hug in a situation, you love them to a certain extent. I have asked this and will ask it again. How do you imagine the cover for The Son of Chaoses? I want it to be really complex. For The Son of Chaoses, I really want to have probably a moon for the first book. The Daughter of Seraphina, I don't know if I want to do a sun. Maybe I should do a sun for the first book, a moon for the second book, and then for the third book, maybe like an eclipse, because Clarice represents the moon, Hadrian represents the sun. But the whole thing about that is the moon goddess Lunaria and the sun god Cynthius had this huge romance back in the past. She's sitting there, she's looking out the window at Hadrian, and one of the Arsanian princesses comes over and says, you look at him the same way that Lunaria looks at Cynthius. The whole thing with the moon and the sun, I'm really prominent when I write Clarice and Hadrian because that's what they are, representing Cynthius and Lunaria. They're forbidden lovers. What are your plans for after graduation? Okay, I want to go to college. I'm hoping I go to college. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to college. I feel like that's just what has to happen. So I'm gonna go to college. Somebody said, hey, beautiful, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? I want to be traveling the world, writing. I want to go everywhere. I want to wear the nicest clothes and eat the nicest food and meet the nicest people. And I want to explore so much of the world. And that is just such a big thing for me. And it's always been a big thing for me. Hope to have my book published. And then hopefully we'll be working on the second or third book in 5 years' time. If you could meet any writer alive or passed away, who would you pick and why? Franz Kafka, probably. Because I want to be able to sit there and tell him, everybody reads your books, everybody knows your name, there's words for you, there's statues of you, because he died thinking that his work was terrible, and just his life was so pitiful and so sad, like it breaks my heart. So I would love to sit down and have dinner with him and just be like, you're a fantastic writer and the whole world knows it now. When did you first get the idea for the Son of Chaosis? Back in freshman year. I talked about this a little bit in another video as well. It just came to me randomly while I was in math class, and so I just wrote a quick 3-plot story structure for it, and then here it is now. What's your favorite plot outline? 3-plot story structure. I love the 3-plot story structure. What do you think about marriage? Oh. I don't really think about marriage right now. If I meet somebody who is perfect, and nobody can be perfect, but if I meet somebody who like I feel like I want to be his wife, that's what's gonna happen. I'm okay with not getting married. It's not at the forefront of my mind. That's not something that like, I'm okay with spending the rest of my life traveling alone and being alone and, you know, having friends and writing my book. That's okay with me. Tell me the female main character and the male main character that you like the most in your novel and aside from it. The female main character I like the most, Clarice. Male main character I like the most, Hadrian. And then aside from it, male main character I like the most, probably Aaron Warner, like I said. And then female main character I like the most, Hermione Granger. I love Hermione Granger. Do you have something that inspired your poetic writing style? Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita. How are you, and what's a show that is on repeat? Also your favorite book right now. My favorite book right now, Lolita. It's always gonna be Lolita. I'm reading currently Invisible Man, and I really do like it. I want to talk to my English teacher about it. I didn't get to see her Friday. I need to sit down with her and have a conversation about this book. I literally made it to the 2nd chapter, and I'm already like, we need to talk. I want to buy my own copy of it and annotate it so fast after I read what happened in the 1st chapter. What's a song and show that is on repeat? Song, Cologne by B2B. I think you know what I mean. Bags is always on repeat. Arctic Monkeys, Do I Want to Know is always on repeat. I'm listening to Hosier. Is that how you say it? Hosier's It Will Come Back on repeat a lot right now. Forget Her, Jeff Buckley. Love Her, You Should Have Come Over, Jeff Buckley. I love anything by Jeff Buckley. Show that is on repeat. I've been watching The Office right now. Do you have advice on how to plan out the way everything unfolds? I would probably say plot your book first and foremost. Do's and don'ts if you can. I have so many videos on this. Honestly, girl, I would just say spam my world building and writing video, which talks a lot about what to do specifically when world building and writing. That is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy November, happy December coming up. I'm so excited for December. I'm going to probably make myself a cup of tea and edit this video. So I will see you all next time. Goodbye.